Times have been tough in 2020, but we'll always have entertainment to help us get through bad times and make us willing to keep on going. As I look back on the shows I've reviewed this year up to now, a lot of them have been a massive help to me, and their best episodes each reflected a part of myself I wanted to better. So to keep tradition going, and for the sake of happiness, I'll list off my favourite episodes from each series I covered this year, why they were my favourites, and I'm hoping to hear yours down below. A few ground rules first. Only one Doug episode is allowed to appear, instead of one for each show. I technically reviewed The Simpsons this year in a special season ranking video, but it won't go here, namely because my favourite episodes, the Who Shot Mr. Burns saga, are so special to me that I can't figure out if I can fit them on the list. I also won't cover the Beatles cartoon, mainly because I haven't seen every episode, and because it's on a different plane of reality altogether. I won't waste any more time on dumb rules, here's a way more bearable title card, and my favourite episodes I reviewed in 2020. Number 12, MEOWTH Rules, Pokémon. There was tougher competition this year, so naturally a weaker period in the Pokémon anime than last time wouldn't go very high at all, but it still had its moments like MEOWTH Rules. After getting blasted off a little further than the rest of Team Rocket, MEOWTH gets stuck on an island of people who worship him and give him everything he ever wanted. 100 meatballs. But as he stays there, he's misused more because the islanders try to force payday out of him to fulfill a prophecy, and he starts to miss his friends. And you come to realize that although the Team Rocket trio are cunning gangsters, they love each other very much, and can have even sweeter stories than Ash, Misty, and Pikachu themselves for some reason. It was a tough call between this and No Big Whooper, but I thought this Whooper just had a lot more whooper and whooper. Number 11, Puzzle Me Daring, The Replacements. The Replacements isn't a very popular show, but when it was good, it was pretty darn solid. Todd's grades are getting worse due to his out-of-the-box manner of problem-solving, but it turns to help out all of Pleasant Hills when a criminal keeps leaving riddles for his mother, Agent K, and the cops to figure out. Todd can solve them in a snap and helps unravel this great crime mystery and meets up with an old foe in the process. Todd and K episodes were uncommon, but I'm happy their most noteworthy joint was a story of a mother nurturing her son's talent and letting him be more competent than the local police force. Also, there's this B-plot where Riley and Tasumi act dumb to attract boys. It's fine, it's got its moments, and doesn't really help the episode get any higher, but stuff like the love and the A-plot is what I'll cherish about this show. Number 10, Doug and Patti Sittin' in a Tree, Doug. This episode comes from a different time, back when sending two of your main characters on a date was nail-biting storytelling. It's such a big step for them that the characters don't really know whether to call it a date. Doug is one of those shows, the kind you can't really watch eye to eye unless you're really young or really in the mood for it. And on top of just being cute and having plenty of fun jokes, it has Doug's whole world coming together just to put pressure on him. Friends, family, Roger, and only finally being with Patti makes him feel comfortable with the whole, you know, if it was a whatever. Stuttering was big in the 90s, that's another thing I got from this. Number 9, Shu, Lilo and Stitch the series. Usually finding the experiments across Kauai and giving them jobs is good for Lilo, Stitch, and the other islanders, but in this scenario, this little luck experiment needs that one true place for self-worth. Shu has spent its entire existence causing bad luck and making accidents happen, but switching it to good luck is apparently a quick fix of its horns, and the episode shows why the Ohana needs good luck on their side, and why giving the experiment some worth is super necessary. This is all very touching, but this was a very funny episode too. The bed and not breakfast subplot is great, and the comedy that comes out of the luck is so absurd it's kind of alien. I had to leave this show behind again, but we'll be back to this date shortly. Number 8, Total Drama Island. Take a wild guess. I like it when shows make big special events where every character's present in this big adventure, and that's exactly what this is. After Owen wins the prize money, or Gwen if you collected all 100 Mr. Coconut coins scattered across the island, Chris offers them and everyone else $1 million, in a briefcase somewhere on the island. So it's a mad race across Camp Wawanakwa to find it, with all the madness you'd expect from the show coming together. Alliances, name changes, twists and turns, someone being crazy enough to feel bad for Heather. This is a very sweet moment though. It all comes together here, and for some of these contestants, this is their very last major spotlight, so the pressure's on to not just win the prize money, because no one ever does, but to leave the biggest impression on the audience. Kaleidoscope won in that regard, no contest. Number 7, Operation Pool, Prevent Opposite Operative's Larcency, codename Kids Next Door. If there's one thing that's terrifying to children, it's a world where they rule and adults have all the fun. This is the basis for this episode set in a parallel world on the other end of Wallaby's new swimming pool, and it's a dark dystopia where no one has any fun. It's full-on kids rule, and it's a nightmarish concept no one would want to see a whole show about. So Sector V and Lizzie, who isn't half bad here, need to defeat this world's leader and set things right. What I think propels this to being my favourite K&D episode isn't the scope, but the character development on Wallaby's part. He overcomes his fear of swimming and manages to defeat his evil doppelganger through pure courage, his greatest strength as an operative. Giving him a spotlight this epic made the whole cast feel more balanced and unified, so this is around where I'd say Kids Next Door peaked. Number 6, Deja Vu, The Fairly OddParents. If you want a good idea of what The Fairly OddParents was like in its prime, not just in humour but in its purpose and mechanics, read you all the way back to this episode. Timmy has pretty much the worst day ever. Everyone beats down on him and makes him feel like crap, but while playing a Crash Nebula game so poorly programmed that you have to reset the console every time you die, he gets the idea to wish for Cosmo to become a reset watch so he can do the day over. But time travel is a fickle thing, and things keep getting nuttier and nuttier, especially once Vicky gains control of the watch. It's a testament to how great the jokes were, when most of them are repeated over and over again, but they never stop being funny. There's real magic at play here. Number 5, EuroBeavers, The Angry Beavers. The Angry Beavers is an insane show with about as many off-the-wall ideas as the writers want to cram in, and this is just the clearest example. Most of it involves Norbert imitating various European lifestyles, annoying Daggett, but he eventually joins in on the fun and it ends with them both dancing to Swedish pop music, then Norb getting arrested for illegal immigration. While exactly how foreign cultures are portrayed on television is a touchier subject these days, if I was Italian, Greek, French, or Swedish, I'd love this episode even more, honestly. It gets these cultures, it loves them, and holds on tight in a big hug. And most importantly, it just wants to entertain everyone in the universe. And I think it succeeded. Here's my regularly scheduled pony talk. Number 4, the Saddle Row Review, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. I don't think the period this episode came out in was very good, but they could pull through sometimes, and I stand by this being the funniest episode of the whole run. Rarity's newest boutique needs to be in tip-top shape before its opening sale, with only a few hours to go. Her friends all do their part in fixing it up in their own special way, but only end up making it worse in their own special way, but fix each of these problems in their own special way. Every one of the main 6 gets their chance to be a riot, but are all still in character and doing it all for the right cause. You don't get many episodes with them all working hard together after season 4, and this one fulfills that need, along with just being cute and silly fun. Also not enough of that after season 4. Number 3, 1 in a Million, The Proud Family. This show really liked basketball, so much so that this one is entirely focused on it. When the girls go to a game, Penny's picked from the crowd to choose anyone she wants to take a shot at a later game and win $1 million in wizard money and only for movie theatre snacks on certain days of the week. Her dad Oscar really wants that shot at the shot, not for any selfish purpose, but to prove to the world he can do it. There's this great backstory added here that Oscar and Wizard Kelly were equally good at playing basketball as kids, but one wrong move from Oscar made him an average nobody and the Wizard a star. And while the Wiz is still the multimedia giant at the end of the episode, Oscar had his time in the sun, and it was all thanks to Penny's choice. She had a host of celebrities to choose from, RIP Kobe Bryant, but love for her dad prevailed. It's already apparent that Louder and Prouder is going to maintain the social commentary that's kept the Proud family relevant, but if they make super sweet episodes like this again alongside those, it's gonna be a worthy reboot. Number 2, the continuum of cartoon fools, Dexter's Lab. Dexter's Lab was great at many things, action, staging, character moments, but this segment took things a step further and served to just satirize the Hanna-Barbera lineage it was at the tail end of. Dexter's animation and takes a very long time to make a simple mouth movement. Then we get the most stock cartoon plot imaginable. Dee can't stay out of his lab, he locks every entrance, and eventually locks himself out in the process. It's all well and good, on top of just being hilariously nuts, but then Dexter delivers an impressive monologue about how torturous it is being a cartoon character running in circles for all eternity. It's a brilliant ending to an increasingly brilliant idea, and has to be one of the late Christine Cavanaugh's best performances. Also Seth MacFarlane wrote it, that's freaking epic. Number 1, The Sting, Futurama. This episode makes me so sad that I didn't get into Futurama much sooner. It starts with a standard Planet Express adventure, the world hates them, but then Fry dies. But every time Leela has this strange honey, she has a dream and sees him again. The questions keep piling up, and Leela's sanity becomes more questionable, and you, the viewing audience, are given increasingly weird jokes and sequences to digest. And it all has a point, to show how guilty Leela was for putting Fry in danger. And the twist ending makes total sense when you put it that way. I'm very surprised that this was apparently a rushed script. It goes to show the Futurama writers didn't know quite how clever they were, and that this show is full of surprises waiting for you to discover. Don't take these rankings as proof of which shows I liked more than others. For instance, I don't think Dexter's Lab is better than Codename Kids Next Door. These are all at least good shows with great episodes, and some individual episodes spoke to me more than others. Again, let me know what your favorites are, and maybe your least favorites, because you know what's coming next. Goodbye for now.
How can you not love a woman who can barf like a guy and come back for more?